Well, hello and welcome to another one of my thoughts videos. Well, it appears we have a troll in our midst. The last video I did, although it had virtually nothing to do with the bug that's supposedly circulating the entire planet, YouTube decided that it was going to wipe it and delete it. Now, I did all the usual safeguards to get around the robots, and that worked quite fine, and that has indicated that they left us alone for at least a week. But unfortunately, the logic would tell me that a troll that couldn't handle the information, that couldn't handle the scientific process, and was not willing to exercise the few neurons that they have to be able to think about the situation, and they reported us, obviously, because that's the only way to do it. But fortunately, 37 people got to see the video, and the 38th person, or maybe someone before that, I don't know, you know who you are, was kind enough to report us and have that video deleted. It's actually quite an honour, really, because actually I'm a very insignificant person on the planet, not dangerous at all to anybody. So for YouTube to consider me to be a dangerous enough person to delete one of my videos already is quite an honour, I suppose. I'm actually a nobody, and I started this channel just to get some things off my chest. I was expecting that the channel would stay extremely small, maybe 5 subscribers tops, you know, my grandmother, my mother, and my uncle Fred or something, but it appears that a few people are interested. I don't actually promote the channel at all. I don't put tags so that you can find me in searches. And I try to keep as low profile as possible so that only those who of you, the cream of the crop of my other channel, Philip Stevens 007, who are intelligent enough in that 1 or 2, I think it was, videos that invited you to come over here to follow my thoughts. You being the most intelligent, the cream of the crop, would possibly enjoy listening to some of my thoughts. So the fact that the channel is starting to grow is almost concerning, because it means that now we are going to get more problems, and it means I'm going to have to start tiptoeing around and watching my P's and Q's. I was doing that to try and get around the robots, and have been successful at that, judging by the results. And the results of this one, we managed to get past the first checks that the robots do, and then we went for an entire week with no problem. So the fact that we were deleted means that someone reported us. That's just pure logic. So you know who you are. Get a brain. Leave us to discuss things as we want to discuss. And that's another point also. The topics, when I was talking extremely general, introductory stuff and things, you were quite chatty, all of you out there. But as we get into topics, just even intros of topics, in fact, you go silent. Is that because you're pondering it or what? It would be really nice if you could actually comment something to give me a little feedback. It started to concern me that comments were dropping off, because it means that either I'm not striking a chord or I'm running too far ahead for you too quickly. So I need to know from you where we're at. Please, if you don't agree with something, say so. And if I reply back maybe stiffly to you, well, please forgive me. It's just the way I am. I don't mean you any harm at all. I like some feedback. I like you to try and point out where I'm wrong. Help me find out where I'm skewed. Help me to open my mind a little bit better. If I'm actually skewed on something and way off on some different planet, let me know, because it would be tragic to go through life going down the wrong path. And if someone else is inspired enough to find a piece of truth that I have not seen or I've missed or whatever, then I would be appreciative if you would point it out. I have good discussions with my children, and they're very good. I have 5 of them, and so they give me all sorts of points of view of the way young people think or don't think is often the case, so that I can try and understand how to phrase things. And that's one of their biggest criticisms, is that I'm not eloquent enough to be able to convey what I say, and it takes a long time of going around and around a point for them to finally click what I actually meant, because I was not using the language that they were using or do use these days. We've had discussions about this, of how the language gets hijacked, and some terms and words that I understood to mean one thing has now been changed by popular opinion, by the young people having not even understanding those words and what they actually meant before. And so then you bumble along thinking you're using a term for a word when it's been changed and they haven't told you that yet. And it takes a lot of discussion to finally figure out that we are talking slightly different language now, because the language tends to get slowly hijacked by the powers that be. So I would appreciate it if you would comment, just say, hey, that was interesting, or, oh, that's given me something to think about, or no, you're absolutely wrong on this, or I saw this point of view on that. What I've appreciated your comments. And I'd like to keep the channel small so that we can have these discussions without the fear of YouTube deleting us constantly. As long as I stay away from worldwide bugs, I'm hoping that we can talk topics that they don't care about. At the moment, their scam seems extremely important to them, to be expending a lot of energy, brainwashing a lot, so that innocent little people in amongst 92 people in amongst the 7 billion people on the planet, at least one of them is offended enough and has been brainwashed enough to be annoying. So, Mr. Troll, thank you very much. You've helped me to rethink and align my thinking as to what should I be talking about and how and why. My basic stance on this worldwide scam is to let it play through. That's why I haven't actually done many videos, and the last one I thought, excuse me, I thought that it would be quite safe to do a scientific analysis of a procedure. But it appears that even that gets them scared, that you can't even analyze their procedures. So it's a case of, let's watch this through, sit on the sidelines and see how the planet fares. I personally am not particularly optimistic. Every civilization through history has had a huge reset. When they get to the situation, starting with times before Noah, the civilizations got to a point where they were basically reset. And I personally think we're headed for that, and there's nothing that I can do about it, except, like in this video, casually sit on the sidelines and try not to cry too much at the demise of humanity. But while I'm here and obligated to be on the planet, I'll keep looking at how things work and sharing them with you. Please be kind and keep us on air.